Okay, guys, we are back with video number 4. And video number 4, we're going to talk about seeing how much you can price your candles for, what is your profit, pretty much seeing what is your cost, okay? What expenses do you have in creating your private label product, okay? And we're going to get down into the little micro parts of it here. I actually have on here a list that I created when I started doing my candles a few months ago, a list of all my costs. So, and I did this after I got my costs from the manufacturers, and which including the products, the everything, the jars, the lids, the making, if I was picking up or shipping, and I even included in here my cost for gas to go there round trip to the facility and back, an hour and a half, 2 hours away from my house one way. So that's all included. So I'm going to go over with you some of the costs involved for the candles, and it's a lot. There's a breakdown, and it's actually there's more involved than you think. Okay, so first of all, I have the cost of the candle. Remember in the last video we talked about the manufacturer, what their costs are. I had the cost of the candle produced, which included the jar, the lid, the wax, the manufacturer making everything for me. What does it cost me to get this done and completed so they can hand it to me and I can continue the process from there? That is one of your costs. The other cost, like I mentioned, was gas. Okay, I have in here that I spent when I looked at the money that I spent for the mileage there back and forth, divided by the amount of candles that I had to purchase. I figured out that in each candle I have to add 16 cents to my cost for gas. So that is also included. Something else that is included is the packaging. This box right here, and I bought this box on eBay, or I'm sorry, on Amazon, and I was looking for a box with a window, and I didn't know what kind I wanted and everything, so I ended up picking this one. I liked it. I got it on Amazon. So I have the cost of this, which is actually this is a cupcake box is what this is. So the cost of this, and that gives me the final look of this right here, which is what I was shooting for. So the cost of that, the cost of the shipping box. Okay, this is a shipping box. This is 4 by 4 by 6 is what this is. And this shipping box, when somebody purchases one from me, I put this candle in here and I put bubble wrap around it, and I have some of my logo stuff on here. When I close this up, I stick the label on here and I ship it out. So another cost is what kind of box are you going to ship your candle out to your customer in? More costs, labels. Labels that you find on the front of the candle. Also the label, the warning label here. Now I get my labels from onlinelabels.com. That's where I buy my labels. I buy them in bulk. This one here is the front label, this long one. This is 2.5 inches high by 5 inches long. There's 6 labels to a sheet just like this, and there are 600 labels in this box. So this label here, the same thing with actually these labels. These are Avery labels that I have, and I print everything here. These labels, when I calculate them out, they come to 3 cents each. So 6 cents of the cost of this is in the labels. Okay, something else you have to figure for is some of your packing materials like this. I've got this here. I've got more right here. Your bubble wrap. Okay, Bubble wrap comes in rolls. You can get on Amazon a roll of like 18 inches wide by like 75 feet long. It's like $12. It's really cheap. It's on Amazon. You have to calculate that 1 square foot of this is roughly about like 6 cents. I think it was somewhere around there. So I actually have the bubble wrap. I have some. Let me show you what I do here to give you an idea. Is I have the bubble wrap inside the candle like that in the back to keep it from moving around. And I also have the bubble wrap. Remember I showed you before, I put it in the box to wrap my candle box. So I have in here that 6 cents of my cost is bubble wrap, because that's something that you need. That's something that you may have to purchase to ship out your product. And you know, the bubble wrap, I put it in the box to keep the candle from moving around during shipment. So what other costs do you have? Now here's some other costs you may not think about. If you're selling these products on, say, your own website or eBay, you may have a PayPal fee. Okay, PayPal is going to charge you a certain percentage of your total sale. For these, the PayPal fee, I have written down here, it's $1.21. So when you're selling a candle, $1.21 is a big chunk, or not a big chunk, but it's a chunk of your cost. So you've got to figure for that. Okay, you've got to figure for that. I also sell these on eBay, so you have the eBay final value fee, and that's usually a percentage of whatever your total cost is of the candle that you're selling. And if you decide to promote your eBay listing, whether you promote it at like 1% or 5% or 10%, I usually promote my listings at anywhere from like 2 to 5%. You're going to have your cost of that promoted listing. And as you're doing your eBay, when you're creating your eBay listing, and you click on yes, I want to promote this, and you set your percentage that you want to promote, it'll tell you, okay, 1% for this price point is going to cost you 50 cents, or 3% is going to cost you $2 if it sells for this much. So you can kind of get an idea of what your cost is for promoted listings. Another cost that you're going to have is, what is it going to cost you to ship your product to the customer? If you're selling off of your own website, if you're selling off of eBay, what is it going to cost you to ship? Now, I will tell you that I use a padded flat rate envelope, which cost is usually around $8.25 or so to ship. And pretty much in those envelopes from the USPS, if it fits in there, it ships for that rate. And I put this box inside that flatted envelope, that padded envelope, and ship it that way. If I were to ship this on its own, it will cost about the same, but it's going to be like a 3 to 5 business day to get it there. I can do priority with the bubble wrap mailer through USPS, spend about the same. It's going to get there faster. Plus, that envelope has bubble wrap inside it, so it protects the candle even more, which is what I really, really wanted. So, you have all your costs, okay? Let's say all your costs. Let's just say an example that all of my costs here, not including me shipping the product to the customer, let's just say that all of my costs are $10. So it costs $10 to make this, $10 for the labels, everything. You're going to want to sell this. You're going to want to double that. You're going to want to sell it for $20, $19.99. You're going to want to double it, because you also need to get paid for your time. Okay. Now, in a lot of other businesses, they sell products, like 30% profit margin, or, You pick whatever you're comfortable with. But when I looked at candles like these, they were selling on an average of between $20 and $30. So selling them, like, if my cost was 10, selling them for $19.99, would be just fine with me. I'm at the low end of what the candles cost. Now you have to figure out, do you want, what is your additional cost for shipping? So it's $19.99 plus shipping. Okay, shipping could be, if you're using that padded flat rate envelope, it could be $7 or $8. So now, you could technically say, the candle is $27.99, including shipping. So that way the customer knows what the all-in number is. Or you could just do, the candle is $19.99 plus shipping. If you create your website, you can have the website calculate what shipping costs automatically based on where they live. So it might be cheaper to have this shipped if it's close to home versus further away. So, but that's the biggest thing. You need to know what your costs are, and you need to know what your all-in number is before you even place an order with the manufacturer. You don't want to place an order with the manufacturer and all of a sudden you discover that your costs overall and what you can actually sell it for are, say, $16 is what your cost is, and all of a sudden you can only sell it for $20. It's not worth a $5 profit when you've got to spend the time to put everything together. I've got to put the labels on. I actually stain these lids. I stain these lids because I want them to look different than what others do. So I stain the lids. So you got to make your product different. So that is going to be it for this video. Seeing what your costs are, seeing how to mark it up, figuring out what the profit is. In the next video, video number 5, we're going to be going over ordering samples for the types of candles that I wanted so I can get a physical version of my candle. And I haven't even placed an order yet with the manufacturer. We haven't even done that yet. Okay? We haven't even done it yet because I wanted to get a physical jar in my hands to see what it looks like, what it feels like, what the color is, and everything. So in the next video, we're going to be going over how I actually got samples of these from what I call competitors and see what they look like, what they felt like, and how they smelled. So let's go over to the next video.